Hey there, folks. This is DJ Boyke with Retirement Resources. I'm here with my dad, Dave Boyke.
Hey, folks.
Retirement Resources. Dad, tell the folks a little bit about what you're hearing and what you're seeing with the interest rate market.
You know, what I'm getting, DJ, a lot is I get people that are coming in that they were so shell-shocked, really, by 2008 that they moved sizable amounts of money out of the market, most likely at the worst possible time. So they committed that mortal sin of investing. They sold when the market was down rather than when it was up and capturing gains. They captured losses. And so they've been sitting over at the bank waiting for some kind of an opportunity, and many of them hoping that they'd be able to go back into a CD and get, you know, that 5, 6, 7% rate of return they were able to get 10, 15 years ago. And interest rates just continued to stay low, and the federal government did their part with all the quantitative easing and keeping rates suppressed, trying to get this economy up and roaring. Well, now the economy has been roaring. The market's hitting new highs, and there's folks that are still sitting on the sidelines in cash. And so they're coming in with, well, what do we do here? Is now the time to buy a CD? Should I be locking something in at 2.5%, or maybe even 3%? Or are there better opportunities? So it gives us an opportunity to really kind of share with them some different things that are available out there today, and whether it's a fixed rate of return, if it's not at least 3.5%, 4%, then I think they're selling themselves short by going down to the bank and putting something in at, you know, just a couple of percent. But also there's just different opportunities and different types of financial products that really we have an opportunity to share with them. And I know I've gotten a lot of response, a lot of questions about these newer types of accounts, which will protect them in a market downturn, but allow them to get a portion of the upside, kind of a hedging product, if you will, where maybe they could get 50% of the market on the upside and none on the downside. If you look at that historically, you know, some of the last 20 years, we've seen those charts and we've lived through it advising clients. That's performed very well against most other conservative investment options. But on top of that, there's also conservative things that we can do with institutional accounts to help people get better rates of return. What are you finding with the interest rates?
Well, I think it's interesting because if you put out what people's goals, their main goals and objectives are, very few people would tell you that keeping what they have is more important than growing for more. You know, the whole point of investing money would be to try to grow it to a greater level than it is right now. But the way people have actually operated over the last 10 or 11 years has actually been different to that goal set. So they've actually kept, and it's surprising the amount of money that people have actually kept in checking, savings type positions, really voluntarily earning nothing over the last 10 years. And in some ways rightfully so, because there was really no other guaranteed place to go. But what we found now is as they have allowed interest rates to creep up a little bit over the last couple of years, settling for next to nothing really shouldn't be an option anymore. But it is surprising how many people will come into our office on a regular basis and they'll have really large sums of money sitting at 0.01 or 0.1%, and they just like the level of security. They value security of what they've already got more than they value the growth of what it could be. And so that's where we've got to look and say, okay, if that is your concern and you don't want to lose money, you're just really risk adverse, well, let's try to figure out a way to earn the best that we can earn inside that risk tolerance. And it's not wrong to be risk adverse, and it's not wrong to value security more than growth. But even as you value security, what is the best thing that we can do to increase the value of your portfolio with the mindset of security? How do we do that? And so these are things that Dad and I have been talking about recently. Obviously, with the rise of interest rates, the more accounts coming out, they have more opportunity for growth going forward. These are the things that people really need to consider. You know, not only for their savings and their checking money, but it's probably something that people need to consider for other parts of their portfolio.
Well, you know, son, I routinely get people that come into the office, as do you, that have money in IRAs. They've rolled over from some company plan, or they took a buyout and they've rolled that over and it's sitting in some savings type vehicle earning 1 and 2%. You know, there's that old saying, your money might be safe, but you're going backwards safely. What do I mean? The cost of goods and services, the everyday expenses that we have, inflation, if you will, is going up faster than the return on that money, so your dollars are devaluating. And over really a relatively short period of time, another 10 years, your purchasing power is like cut in half. So we have to do something if we're going to stay ahead of taxes and inflation, other than sitting the money down in a checking account or a savings account and earning next to nothing on it. The question is what to do with it. And folks, if that's you, if you've had these questions or concerns and you know you've worked hard, you've saved your entire lifetime, you've built a nice chunk of money up there, and you're not a gambler, but you want to earn a reasonable rate of return, something better than 1, 2, or 3%. Folks, there's good options out there. We can help you decide, you know, do you need this money in guaranteed type of accounts where we can shoot for 4 and 5%, or do we want to be in something where we have a very low level of risk, it's being monitored on a daily basis, and we have an opportunity to make 5, 6, or 7% on that money. Folks, you don't all need to make 10 and 12%. Maybe you did when you were working and you had time on your side so that you could weather that type of risk in your portfolio. But most people that are coming in with these questions, son, they're at that stage where they're either close to retirement or they're in retirement, and the last thing they want to do is lose 30 or 40% like they did again in 2008. So folks, if that's you, if we've kind of hit the nail on the head, we'd love to have you come in and talk to us here at Retirement Resources and let us share ways that we can help you safely increase your rates of return.